Now that Russell Wilson's gone from the NFC West, are the Niners the number one challenger in the division going forward?
Or who's the team that's the challenger to them? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess the Rams are obviously
yeah.
as the Super Bowl champion. I don't know what the Rams are going to look like because they decimated, a lot of their football team to get the players they have. They've got some stars and they're paying them big dollars and they just kind of made do in the interior at the safeties and they're going with Nick Scott, a special teamer and calling whatchamacallit out of retirement. And, I mean, it's just like, and somehow they got it done. I would probably say it's still the Rams, but because the Cardinals are such a losing organization. I mean, what's going on with Kingsbury? What's going on with Kyler?
Kyler.
What's going on there? I mean, are they ever going to build up their offensive line? I mean, it's literally been decades since the Cardinals have had a really good offensive line. So I would say it's the Rams. Seattle, I think made a good trade yesterday, but I still think it's likely the Rams. I think Les Snead's done a pretty good job at finding players.
Yeah, I think it's probably the Rams too. Let's talk about that Russell Wilson trade.
Okay.
I know it's not a Niner topic, but it is. I mean, it's so involved with the 49ers. Who do you think won the trade, the Seahawks or the Broncos, and why?
Well, I would say it was the Seahawks because really, and a lot of people say, well, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything. I get it,
They're not done.
but here's the thing about the Seahawks:
Mm-hmm.
John Schneider gets 2 1s, 2
Mm-hmm.
2s for a quarterback who's 32, and people say, well, a quarterback's playing until their mid 40s. Tom Brady plays until his mid 40s.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean Russell Wilson's going to play until he's mid 40s. I do, based on what you've
Russell's
seen of Aaron
33.
Rodgers.
He's 33. He's going to be 34. He's like a few months younger than me, man. We're old.
How many years does what Russell really have left at a top level? I think he's a Hall of Famer, but
Yes.
he probably needs another ring. And I would say he's got 3 years
Maybe.
of top level play.
He wasn't the top level player last year.
Yeah, and let's look what they got. They got 4 picks in day 1 and 2 of the draft, 2 1s, 2 2s. Then they got a pick swap where they moved their 5th for a 4, or no, maybe it was the other way around. They gave the pick swap.
Mm-hmm.
But they got 2 1s and 2 2s. Then they got Shelby Harris. Harris had more tackles for loss than any other Denver Bronco last year, and he had the most tackles among all the Broncos defensive linemen. So Shelby Harris is a undersized, long-armed, pass-rushing tackle who's 30, who's going to immediately step into their rotation and play. Then they added 24-year-old Noah Fant, who is a terrific athlete, 6'4", 250. He's got a nice career ahead of him. So.
Yep. And they got Drew Lock, who started 21 games.
You got Drew Lock, but I personally see them as the team that's going to land Mariota because Marcus Mariota's out there in free agency. He's got a very popular player in the Pacific Northwest. He probably would be very attractive to him to play for Seattle, especially when they've got Lockett, Metcalf, if they're going to keep those guys. Now Fant as well. So if you could trade Russell, get 4 picks, and a couple of useful players and a replacement quarterback, and then you can go in free agency and attract Marcus Mariota. I think it's a win for Seattle. I like what John Schneider did there.
I think it's a win for Seattle too. I think Seattle's going to be a little more aggressive than Mariota. They might settle on Mariota, but I think what they're doing.
Who are you thinking?
I think they're playing for Deshaun Watson. I think
there's been a lot of talk about that today. I saw that.
I mean, with Deshaun Watson, what they could say is, maybe it'll be civil offenses, not criminal offenses. Maybe the NFL will look at the fact that he sat out last year and only suspend him a few games as opposed to a whole nother season if it's civil offenses. I think Seattle might be playing the long game here. Even if Deshaun is suspended for half the season, well, they got Drew Lock, who started 20. Like, they're prepared to do this. I can't see them trading freaking Russell Wilson so they could spend a first-round pick on the worst quarterback class in years and bring in Malik Willis and hope it all goes well. Deshaun Watson would make a whole lot more sense. That'd be kind of like trading for Marshawn Lynch. Just saying.
I love Malik Willis's talent as far as, I mean, you saw the way he threw the ball in Indy. I mean, he can just flick it and, he's got far and away the best arm in this draft.
Yeah.
But it's still talking about a player that needs some development coming out of Liberty. He's not ready to roll. The Watson thing's interesting. The one thing that Seattle has always been willing to do is gamble on character. gamble on guys with questionable character. Even
Tony.
Shelby Harris. Shelby Harris went to Illinois State. He got kicked off of 2 college teams.
Frank Clark.
And Frank Clark, another guy. I mean, they've taken. How about the guy with the ATV thing, the McDowell that they drafted Malik McDowell, and then guy, they will take chances on character risks and prioritize football talent over character. I think on a football team you can do that a couple times. You do it too many times, and you wind up with a locker full of bad guys. But they're clearly, yeah. But I could see Deshaun Watson there. I could absolutely see that. And if they do that, I mean, my God, now that you've traded out your older quarterback for a younger quarterback.
Then the Niners better get Tom Brady in that case.
Yeah. Seriously.
Rob Martin says, don't think anyone but me and this guy loved DJ Jones. Whole plug, run stop, double team necessary, frees up others for go-ahead sacks. Yeah, and like a 2-down run stuffer is not going to be expensive on the free agent market. They could probably – it's not going to be a bidding war for DJ Jones, I don't think.
No, but you know what? That 1 sack of Prescott in the playoffs, everybody's watching the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He busted through, showed some scoot, got to the quarterback, brought him to the ground. And it's like everybody looking at that going, I hate when guys who you want to keep in free agency go off on a highlight play that shows great talent in the playoffs. So that would be my guess. Maybe they can get him back. Maybe they can. He was a 6th-round pick. I mean, heck, DJ Jones has been overlooked his whole career. Let's just hope that continues.
I mean, he probably should have gotten a big deal last year and no one saw it. So
right.
Good luck, DJ. We're pulling for you. Melody says, Deebo looking for realtors in Miami on IG thoughts. I'm not going to open my mouth. I've already gotten blocked by him on Twitter. What do you think?
Why is he blocking you, man? What'd you say to get blocked?
I told him how the Niners are going to negotiate against him in free agency. I think it was a little too real. I think the 26-year-old didn't want to hear how life really works. He was like, I don't need to hear it. My agent's taking care of that.
I'm turning off Grant. That's it. Yeah. No more Grant.
Hey, he probably works out in Miami in the offseason is what I'm thinking.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, Miami is a very popular spot for a lot of players. Yeah, I mean, heck, Miami's fun. I mean, you've been to South Beach, it makes sense. It makes sense. So that makes sense a lot.
The other thing is why I could see people go conspiracy tinfoil hat theory here is Mike McDaniel, Wes Welker, negotiation. I don't know, man. Deebo, good luck in that negotiation because I know from week 9 on they gave you more carries than catches. They're going to call you a running back. They're going to call you a wide back, and I don't know what the price for a wide back is. I'm sorry. I don't know, Deebo. That's between you and the Niners.
I asked John Lynch about that. I said, are you going to have to change anything about his contract as far as, bonuses because he's no longer it's no longer about receptions, right? It's about carries. And he kind of dodged. He kind of dodged.
He's Roger Craig in this offense now. I bet you he has more carries and catches next year, and I bet you he has 1,000 yards receiving and rushing, just like Roger Craig. That's my hot take.
Oh, he's a terrific player. You know what? The one thing about Deebo, he had a lot of soft tissue issues, injuries at South Carolina. But, man, whatever he did last year in the offseason, he got his legs in shape, and I got to think he's one of the more valuable receivers in the league right now. I think everybody's looking for the next Deebo. So, you can almost bank on that.
And I didn't live through Roger Craig, but I've watched his highlights. Just the way Deebo runs the ball with those violent high knees reminds me of Roger Craig.
Right. He deals out punishment.
Hell yeah. Grant Cohn and Larry Krueger, talk about a duo. Glad to see you back in action, Larry. Everyone subscribe to Larry's YouTube channel. The description.
That's
the
right.
link is in the description.